Yeah, exactly. It's communication we have done earlier. So we were expecting a kind of things that we have done until now. That is about the process, the way, how to conduct the WWs in September 15, what sort of people and how they should be selected, what sort of preparations, what sort of skills that we need to have for conducting this project. Yeah, these kinds of expectations we did have. Exactly. This project may be important to understand the knowledge, ideas, perceptions of the uh, general citizen people, those who are not the expert of biodiversity and about the importance of biodiversity. But yeah, of course, the idea of those layman people, the general people about the importance, significance, or their perceptions about the biodiversity may be yes, important part of the policy making process. Of course, to understand, we like researchers and we like the people's to understand the people's ideas and to incorporate, of course, to the national policy level. Exactly, I think this I am feeling difficult to come with the good idea and good results of the people because people in our country are diverse in terms of language, in terms of religion, in terms of geography, in terms of economy, of course, in terms of the level of education. So, catching of their own exact real views about the questions may be a challenge for us because we have just practiced two questions yesterday. I found two questions are too long and too difficult even to understand. We like people, so I think it will be a challenge for us to make the people, those who are very common, like illiterate, like rural people, agriculture, farmers, to make the questions understood and come with their ideas. I think it's challenge, but we have opportunity to come and experience with those kinds of people and work with these people too. Exactly. Most challenging part is that still the political instability is there in our country since 2 decades, let's say. At the same time, including the political instability, the bureaucracy, the politics and political leaders still do not have making their concentration about the importance of biodiversity and the needs of the exact, real or necessary policy instruments to endorse in the country to implement those policies. So we like the people, those who are talking from the sides of people's rights, conservations or biodiversity conservation, so many things, but they are still have to recognize those kinds of idea that we are bringing up, we are coming up. So I think the policymakers and their implementation strategies and their enthusiasms, their competencies, their interests may be our great challenge to work in our country. Okay, exactly. These are good questions and good for me to answers to. Yeah, exactly. This time, bureaucracies, the political leaders, of course, the policymakers, they have been recognizing the people's rights. Of course, the international biodiversity conventions, treaties, decisions, and so many like CBD, CBD COPs that has been done in Japan, New York, or similar kinds of others like UNRIP, United Nations, UNDRIP, like Indigenous People's Rights about the ILO 169. So these kinds of international treaties, international conventions have been endorsed in the country's policies, like biodiversity. Like for example, 2003 biodiversity strategy of the country Nepal, it has been endorsed in our country. So good things in our country is that policymakers, political leaders, they have been compelled to incorporate those international treaties, international instruments about the biodiversity conservation, regarding the rights of the people, regarding the benefit sharing mechanism, and so many things. So these kinds of good things have been endorsed, at least in our policy instruments. Although there has been to make perfect policy acts, perfect acts, regulations, guidelines. Policy have endorsed those kinds of good things. So it may be good parts of the biodiversity in our country or in my country.